everybody, welcome back. Going to do a character review of Yellow Jacket. I'm going to come back and do a ghost one, probably release it in the next day or so. I know it's delayed. I had some real life stuff going on, work, sick, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, catching up, Yellow Jacket just got released yesterday, Friday. I personally had no red stars to even open for the guy because I was trying to get something on Ghost, even though I wasn't planning on building it, blah, 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 blah. Let's look at the character review. Hopefully this helps you guys decide how hard you want to go on this team. I'll talk about that a little bit more in the Ghost video once I kind of go through her kit. I already have my personal opinion, but anyway, this one, it's about Yellow Jacket.
Bring me WolverThor!
So in these videos, what I typically do is I go through their kit a little bit. I use the Ultron bot on Discord so I can talk about the T4 just a little bit, not that Punk Yeti infographic type deep dive. That's a different video. And then just kind of talk about how I see using the character a little bit, things I like, I don't like. And then I'll jump into the stats, which is probably why most people come to these videos, is when I dive into the stats, and I'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, let's start off with this kit. First up is his basic Bioenergy Blast. It's attack primary target for 180% damage, and then bonus attack for another 160%. The T4s increase that initial burst by, 70? And that second one by the same amount, 70%. So that seems okay, depending on how much you're going to use it, which, based on the cooldowns, seems to be a decent amount. But, you know, again, his stats here that'll matter is obviously his damage and potentially piercing. His special, Yellow Jacket. Now, between the special and the ultimate, that's what you're going to have to make a decision on what to use first, okay? So let's look at the special. You steal 20% health from the primary target and redistribute to self, so only to Yellow Jacket. Receive an additional 2,000 health, which is basically nothing, honestly. And this bypasses block. Gain evade plus regen. Now, the evade's important for stuff that has to do with Ghost, mainly in the Dark Dimension realm, but you always want to get as much evades on these guys' character as possible. It'd be great if it added +1 to evade. That's the stuff that really would have made this team a little bit better, is not just gaining evade, but +1 evade up to a maximum of 4 or 5 or something like that. That would have been maybe 3 or 4, depending on how it tested out. That plus, and I'm sorry I'm getting off track here, but that plus, when you see this in our Dark Dimension, should say and raids, but whatever. I even would have taken and Greek raids, but sorry, I'm tangenting via frustration. And then in Dark Dimension, prolong all positive effects on this character up to a duration of 1, up to a maximum of 4. So again, talking about prolonging positive effects, adding stacks, you know, you could do that with evade here, but again, it's only in Dark Dimension. So I talked about whether you use this ability first or second. Now, I personally, because you're probably not going to need to steal health first turn, depending on the speed and the speed of the enemies, you might not use that. If you need the health, do it. The T4s for the special, you get an additional 10% steal of the health. That's pretty solid. This here, the 2,000 HP, that honestly is like these 2,000 to 10, even 10,000 health heals, they're garbage, because that is, I mean, a summoned Stitcher could hit you for more than that. So they're pointless. But regardless, if you're going to do it, you're only going to do it for that 10% health anyway. Jump into the ultimate. The other ability here that you could potentially take into first turn, I think I mentioned they're both 5 out of 5 energy-wise. You gain 1 offense up, which plays into account a little bit here in a second, which I'll get to with some more synergy. You get a maximum of 3 of those offense up. You attack primary target for 330% damage, and all adjacent targets for 280% damage. On kill, you apply 2 random positive effects to self and all Pim Tech and Villain Tech allies. So that gives him some ability to play with some other Villain Tech Ultron, which is kind of fun. Then repeat this attack targeting the most injured enemy. Okay, the Ultron bot notes that the random positive effects are defense up, offense up, and speed up. So those are the 3 that you're going to get. You're not going to get a death proof or an immunity or anything along those lines. So with this ability here, the T4s give you an additional 70% damage on both the primary and adjacent targets, which is, you know, very similar to the basic. So again, depending on his damage and piercing will determine how that ranks up. And like, it's not bad. I'm probably, you know, you're using his basic a decent amount because there's not an energy battery on this team except for stature. And even with her, oh, and I think there's one with Ghost as well, now that I think about it. No, it's not. It's just stature. Ghost, I think, is just a speed up. So either way, you know, these abilities are not going to be used very often. So you might look into doing the basic T4 upgrade just to get the extra damage. Kind of the not the DPS, but the DPE, the damage per encounter. That's probably the way to look at that. And, you know, again, like I mentioned, I'm probably using this ultimate first to start the offense up train. But again, on kill, you want to get the apply positive effects too. So it's a tough call. You know, if you're losing a little health, go ahead and drop that. You really want to save this this ultimate on a kill so that you can get some more random positive effects spread around. That's the way I'm looking at it. But so far to this point, like, he's really just doing damage. There's nothing really all that exciting to me personally. And even the in Dark Dimension, prolong all positive effects on just use of the special, which is... he's only on that character, so it's like, okay, so far that's it with this guy. I'm like, okay. So you jump into the passive here. It's called Don't Cross Me. While this character has offense up, which I talked about here on in the ultimate, so you want to make sure that's up there and it gets prolonged. Gain 20% speed and 15% drain, which is great. So when he's attacking, he is going to get some of that additional drain outside of just the special. So his basic and ultimate could get more drain. In Dark Dimension, gain 20% damage for self and all Pimp Tech allies. That's it for Dark Dimension. There's nothing more here. It's this damage, and in Dark Dimension, you prolong some positive effects by one when using the special. You know, again, that's not that exciting. The T4 here for the passive is an additional 10% drain on his attacks. Honestly, I'm not touching that. His T4's here, I'm not touching that. Maybe the ultimate for the extra damage, so that you can, you know, because you want that on kills, so that 70% could, you know, really help. And I'm sure on that kill, apply 2 random positive effects to self. Is it like, what if he kills 2 or 3 people? Is that 4 and 6 positive effects that you can apply? If it's only 2 based on killing anybody on the board, that's kind of lame. I mean, this team needs help in my opinion. So, and that would be something that would make this team a little bit more formidable. So looking at his kit, he's your standard kind of blaster doing damage. You got some drain, some health steal, you know, a little offense up, you know, on a 5-turn cooldown. You know, all right. And if that's not getting extended in any way, it's kind of lame. But I don't know. I've seen, you know, McMull sent me a nice image of this guy hitting pretty hard, but my personal opinion on this team is, and specifically Yellow Jacket, is okay, cool. You know, I'm not, even with the Greek raid ad, which was very underwhelming in my mind, it's kind of like, I was actually annoyed because I'm like, I already got my hand built up. Granted, I know I don't want to deal with hand and you know, Greek difficulty sliders. This team is like, I don't even gain any benefits for having this team in there, and I'm not going to take them to Dark Dimension 4. But anyway, so I don't even want to be a negative Nancy. The kit is decent. Let's look at the stats to see if it's actually going to be any good with the damage. Because right now, Yellow Jacket is just a damage dealer with, you know, some extra damage in Dark Dimension with a slight bit of drain for himself only, because he's selfish. So, stat time. Okay, so stats. For those of you who don't know, I have a giant spreadsheet. I pull all these stats from msf.gg. Go check that site out. The guys are dope. Pip and Ty, they put a lot of work into that thing. And I use it all the time, as you should as well. The stat baseline I've got is level 75, 7 yellow stars, 4 red stars, T14, 25% star tech, and passive level 4. Again, all based on msf.gg. And then I input all these stats and I rank them per category so I can get an overall average rank per character and kind of say, on a per stat basis, this character ranks up in this kind of... they rank up this way compared to all the other tunes in the game. So we're looking, here's, you can see Dr. Doom is clearly top of everybody here based on stats alone. And so let's scroll down and find Yellow Jacket. There's Ghost, spoiler for that other video. So hopefully come still watch it. So you got Ghost and Yellow Jacket here at 48 and 46 for Ghost and 48 for Yellow Jacket. You get, you know, I already did the video on stature. She's at 76. And then you got Wasp and Ant-Man way down here. So one more reason why I'm a little kind of whelmed with this team, because there's I mean, normally when you get new characters, they're like top 25. You know, again, you can get some stat boosts in Dark Dimension, but a lot of the other teams will have stat boosts too. So anyway, all right. So focused on Yellow Jacket here, health rank, 118. That's not the biggest deal in the world. There wasn't really any health distribution based on his percent HP, so it's really more about just keeping him alive. Damage, you wanted to see this high. It is high. It's ranked 25th in the game, 17,284. You get that 20% boost. It's going to get, top notch as far as that goes. So he is doing his job in the damage, which is what you want for sure. Armor comes in at 49, similar to Ghost. You need that for him to stay alive. You're happy to see that. The HP again is a little low, but hopefully he can shed off some damage with the armor. Focus coming in at 62. Okay, I'm thinking about the kid. It's like you're not really. I don't recall any clearing, or anything along those lines. He's gonna have the random positive effects given, and as far as I'm aware, you don't need focus for that. So to me, this is a who cares stat. Resistance 77. That's pretty low. Again, you could get that built up with other, Pim Tech, but still 77. You want these guys to get slowed or anything along those lines. You're going to be in trouble there. His speed's 111, coming in at 61st. Don't love that. You really want to see him going a little bit quicker. But, that does allow you, since he is a little bit slower, to probably use that ultimate first turn, the special rather, to get that heal. So, you're going to have some people go in front of him. Unless Ghost is healing people because they're evading, but, that speed gives you the chance to, or that slower speed gives you the chance for him to actually use that special in a way that makes sense. And that gives him an average rank of 65. Again, not great. You kind of scroll up here and, your Ronin's at 50, at 20th in the game. Your top-notch tunes are under 20. Doc Ock was at 24, and it's a huge drop-off after Doc Ock to Ultron at 41. So yeah, Yellow Jacket stat-wise, I'm not loving it. I don't love the kit. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna do a Ghost video where it's just the stats and the kit after the Envoy stuff. That's why I waited a little bit longer on it, because I'd already done one with Envoy prior to the actual stats being in game. Look, if you get good red stars and you get good drops on things you buy, great. But a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing and experiencing with these guys is they're okay. They're okay. They're, similar to, another kind of niche team where it's kind of like, I can use them in this situation and that's about it. All right, well, and again, if you've already got characters built up because of Dark Dimension 3, specifically global, it's hard to argue with you to say build up this team instead of bringing that team, even without Phoenix. I'd argue that you might want to still do Emma, Sinister, X-23, Zemo, things along those lines. So anyway, that's what I got to say about Yellow Jacket. I'd love to be wrong with these guys, but I'm going to tell it how I see it. I'm not going to hype this team and these characters if I don't see it. I don't see it right now. So someone come to the Discord. Link is in the description below. Tell me I'm wrong. Comment below. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm sure someone will tell me that regardless, but give me some reasons or some experiences. Share pictures on Discord. Show me what you got, and let's see if this team's actually worth building really hard. Right now, like I said. So anyway, appreciate you stopping by. Hammer down on that like button, notification bell, subscription. Stuff downstairs if you want to follow the channel. Appreciate you guys stopping by, and until next time.